Hello viewers, here is a Manning Bowman dual or twin window fan model 1252-M. M as in made in USA. My uncle gave this to me. I believe he was the one that bought it many years ago. I put some oil in the oil ports a few days ago and I've been letting it sit. The bearings were totally locked up before. It's probably still too stiff to really run correctly, but we'll give it a shot. It's a very interesting design. It's got two toggle switches for each of the fans. It's such a good quality, robust, industrial-like design. It's a classic example of quality American engineering. And the feel of these switches, it's so smooth and fluid. It's great. You can tell it's such good quality. Just can't get fans like this anymore. I have no idea if this is in a working order or not. It looks like there's a hole here for perhaps for the cord to go through. Taking a look at the back. I don't know what the deal is here with this. I suspect this was repaired at some point. Although this cord looks like the same cord that's there, so I don't know. Unless this originally had no switch and those was tacked on there. I tend to think not. That looks like it would be original. I don't know. I'm going to feed this through here because that's what makes the most sense to me. Oh, and I'm just now noticing that it has these panels on the side, although they're not very long. Wait a minute. Ah, look at that. That is so cool. Of course, it's having some trouble because it probably hasn't moved in 30 years. And this is kind of bent too. That's not helping anything, but if this is working properly, this would slide out and fill the extra space. So there's another really neat design aspect to this. And look at the blades. They're riveted on, probably a steel spider in the center there. This is such good quality. Through and through. Fully made correctly. And it's heavy too. This is very, very heavy. I suspect all that weight is probably in the motors because the housing is probably just the aluminium. It's not that thick. Okay, let's prop this up here and see if I can get this to run. May or may not run. I'm not sure what to expect here. Okay, it's plugged in now. I'm going to start with the fan on the left because that one seems to be spinning a little bit more freely. Well, came right to life with no problem. Relatively quiet. Pushing out a ton of air as expected. My uncle spoke very highly of this fan. He used to use it in the kitchen, and the way their house is laid out is the kitchen is kind of open to the dining room, and then both the dining room and the kitchen have a doorway that's always open into the living room. And he said it would cool that whole area off, no problem. Okay, so that works. Now this one's pretty stiff, so I don't think this is really going to work, but let's see if we can get it to go here. And there it goes. Working just as well as the other one did despite the locked up bearings. I want to run it for any length of time because This bearing is very stiff. But this just goes to show how much power this has. This is really stiff, and it'll go, no problem. A little bit of help, it gets going. I don't see any modern fans doing that. Yeah, that moves a lot of air. Of course, this is really locked up. I don't want to run it anymore until we get that serviced. So that's good, that works. And this may be difficult to clean up because this was used in the kitchen, so this dirt that's on here is probably somewhat sticky, you know, because the oil's in the kitchen, whatever. So this may be a challenge to get it cleaned up. But once it's cleaned up, it'll be a great piece to have to use in the windows.